All right, I think we're going, right?
Nope. Now we are.
Oh, now we're going. All right. Whew, Matt, we've already been talking for 3.5 hours, so I'm not sure exactly what we're going to talk about. I did suggest that, and you talked about it in the main episode, that we do our open agendas. We used to do open agendas, and we kind of stopped. But then in this bonus material, isn't that kind of what we do anyway? We kind of talk about a few topics, so I thought it might not be a bad idea just to formalize it a little bit. So, hey, what have you got for your open agenda, sir?
Um, it's trying to like focus on a multitude of things. There's so many different things that I'm happy about. One of which, of course, I mentioned on a regular basis. Obviously, nuclears are coming back to America. Sorry, America. And that's going to be in. We actually we actually land on New Year's Day as well, so that's kind of cool. Actually, New Year's Eve, the first time I spent New Year's Eve outside of Essex in my life.
Hmm. Okay.
Um, so yeah, we're spending it at Heathrow with a three-course meal night before, and then watch the fireworks because there will be fireworks, obviously, in
Oh, sure.
London. And then the next day we fly back to Florida to go to Disney, and they started lowering all of their. There's no masks needed in Disney World at all now.
Yeah.
Um, there's no temperatures being taken as you go in now either. Um, they've started doing solo riders today as well. It's getting better and better in America. I don't believe you've got that Delta variant over there, which is very, very good. Very, very fortunate, and hopefully you guys never will have that, which is why it's opening up so much faster over there now. Plus, 46 has had a little bit to do with it, I imagine, as well.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, America right now is doing very, very well. Very, very well. Uh, which actually reminds me, I saw a bill being signed into law about a new holiday, which is
Juneteenth. Yeah.
Juneteenth, which, of course, if you're watching this as it goes out, is tomorrow, I believe.
Correct. Yep.
Juneteenth is
Friday. Yeah.
finally a national holiday.
Mhm.
What amazed me is that there were 14 people who voted against it.
There will
And
always be some people who will deliberately,
and
for spite, and cut their nose off to spite their face, and will always vote against whatever.
two things which really stuck in my craw. One of them is that everyone who voted against it were all old white men,
Of course.
obviously.
I'm going to guess
Uh,
all Republicans as well.
of course, but
Yes.
the reason that they gave was that they didn't want it to be a case of choosing between a white Independence Day or a black Independence Day.
Hmm.
I'm like, you Americans, you get drunk regardless. Seriously, and couple that with the fact that Obamacare was they're trying to defeat it. Of course, there was a Supreme Court threw it out again. This time they threw it out. I believe it's because they failed the last time. That meant that they would fail automatically this time. It was so sweet to see from someone who comes from socialized healthcare. Um, I
They lost 7-2, which,
yes,
considering that the Supreme Court is mainly Republican judges, it was massively defeated. Yep.
yeah, that's what you call a walkover.
Yep.
Um, that was an Italy Turkey style walkover, Graham. It was ridiculously simple for him. So yeah, hope people who don't want Obamacare to be in place is is obviously
Shareholders of health
the
companies.
the insurance companies as well because they knew their premiums obviously.
Uh-huh. Yep. They're
And
making money from it. It's not. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is that we pay. And the thing is, anyone who's watching this right now is probably gonna say, "Well, how does it get paid for?" We pay a premium from our wages at
Yeah.
source.
Yeah.
We don't see it.
Correct.
I'm and given how much that health service has saved lives during this pandemic, it saved my family multiple times.
Yeah.
Okay, it has saved people in my fiance's family multiple times this year.
Hmm.
I'm incredibly proud of the fact that we haven't got to pay for that kind of help. Like, unfortunately, people in America do.
Well, it's not that we're just paying for it. I don't think people have an objection to paying for healthcare, but they have an objection to paying for overinflated prices to give a premium to the shareholders. That's where the problem comes. Or the fact that you have to employ lots of people who have to fill out papers. It's the middlemen in this that's adding to the costs of that, and the fact that it just keeps rising each year. Or the one that I alluded to before, and this is one that my wife had. I don't know who it is, but somebody on my wife's side of the family, they had a massive hospital bill, but they knew somebody who checks these bills, so they got them to look over it. One of the items was they brought them a box of tissues, and that was $250. Now, you can't justify that in any way, shape, or form. Like, I understand drugs cost a lot to produce, a lot to all the experiments that have to go on ahead of time, all the research. I understand that that can be something that, yeah, you're not going to sell super cheap because there's costs at the start.
I get that.
Tissues, $250. Come on, that's ridiculous. They're just super inflating prices for no reason at all. So it's the gouging of prices that's the problem. Or the other classic one is insulin. The fact that people in this country sometimes skip a dose of insulin because they can't afford it is tragic. I can't remember the exact prices, but I believe it's like $600 a month. I believe that's the price. Whereas in countries, it's a fraction of that. Well, it's not even, it's less than 100. And I'm not even using the exact numbers because I don't remember. That's a problem. Something that other countries can do for 100 or less than 100 in most cases shouldn't be 6 times that. And unfortunately, that's a regular occurrence in the States.
That puts things into perspective a little bit. Chris is obviously type 1 diabetic and gets insulin regularly. Doesn't have to pay for it at all.
There you go. Something that's life-saving should not be something that you should price gouge on something like that. And that's been something really difficult to try and get them to cap limits on things like that. I am curious. Do you know what Juneteenth is?
Juneteenth is, I believe that was the day when they finally found out that slavery had been abolished.
Correct. It was. Well, the reason I'm asking is a lot of the comments were a little snippy about it, like, oh, we get a holiday, but people don't even know what it's for. And that was in America. So I was curious as a Brit who probably heard it on other news channel, whether you actually were aware of what it actually was. So
yes, I am. I'm obviously, I heard about it a lot last year, especially during the BLM and everything. I've got to admit, ignorantly enough, I didn't know what it was until last year. But it was a really big deal this time last year.
Yeah.
And damn right, Rach, damn right, it should be a holiday. I mean, if you can have for Labor Day, why not?
Yeah, I didn't know about it until probably a lot more recent than that. Until a few years previous to this, but I can't remember the exact date. But I certainly didn't know about it when I was in England. That's for sure. Of course, there's nothing wrong with educating. The other argument was, why are you doing it in the holidays when you can't educate the kids about what it actually is? I'm like, you can talk to your kids. You're allowed to talk to your kids and explain what's going on here.
People don't want to talk to their kids.
Voted for was Martin Luther King Day in 1981. That was the last time a holiday was introduced into America. Just for
that sounds like Grandpa Joe is doing a good job so far.
I would agree.
What do you want to talk about, Graham? I've got more to talk about, but I'll let you go first.
Sure. Now, I got one thing. It seems we just came from Radio Techers. I actually saw something from Zlatan Ibrahimovic, the Swedish striker who used to play for Manchester United. Quote.
Well, plays a stretch, Graham. He turned up.
Sports in the US are too expensive. My children play in a good team, and I paid $3,500 per child. I don't like that because not everybody has the money, and sport should be for everyone because it unites people regardless of their origins. End quote. Absolutely. That's an absolutely ridiculous fee. I know that Mason plays baseball or used to play baseball. He was invited onto a travel team, which is one of those good teams. And yeah, they travel all over the state. The fees are thousands of dollars. And it was like, no. This is something that should be for fun. We're not paying that. We're not making that commitment. Like, he's not going to be a pro baseball player. No disrespect to Mason. He's not going to be a pro baseball player. We're not traveling all over the state and having no other life except for going to these baseball things. And it is a shame. as they
It,
talk that for
mm,
other people. Like if you look at your Brazilian soccer players, like they don't have that sort of money. Like, can you imagine if it was based on money? Some of those players would never have made it up through the ranks. So it's totally a wrong system. Somebody else said the same thing though. It's no different in Australia. Standard park or local soccer is about $200 per year. If your child is considered talented and plays representative soccer, it's $1,500 from ages 7 to 13, and then $2,500. Exactly what others have been saying. A lot of kids fall through the ranks because they simply cannot afford it. Um, Another case of things being too expensive. It's sports. It's something that's healthy for a kid. It's something that's important for their character as well. Working as part of a team is something that is good and you would want to encourage. Why are we putting prices on things like this? Why are we pricing certain people out of this? Just a real shame. I'm glad Zlatan, obviously, having traveled all over Europe, played in Sweden, played in Italy, played in France, played in the UK. He's obviously aware of that's the European system is not really like that. I'm sure there's academies, but then the top teams are normally paying most of those fees because they realize at the end they get a player that they can actually use. So I think it's a little different. Yeah.
Couple of comments on that. One, it was still cool that he was invited.
Uh huh.
One thing. Two, it is really cool, but Zlatan actually did raise that. And three, are you sure that was Zlatan Ibrahimovic? Because it wasn't all about him for a change.
That is unusual not to be about him, but yeah, I think
He talked about himself in the third person. Even Matt Wilson do that.
I don't know where he is now. I know he was at LA Galaxy for a little
He's at
while.
Milan.
He's back in Milan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't know if he has like a second home over here or whatever, or perhaps he experienced it when he was over here and now he's not over there. So I'm not sure why it came up particularly this week, but I saw it and it was something that yeah, Mason's just finished his lacrosse season. Jackson's soccer was fantastic. They played I think 10 games. I want to say it was about $70, something like that. But they got two sets of kit for that. They got like two shorts, two jerseys, two pairs of socks. And obviously, you have to pay rental fees to play on some of the fields. You have to have a ref. There's other costs involved. But I thought $70 for 10 games, that's pretty decent when you get all that stuff that goes with it as well.
That was about $7 a game.
Yeah,
That's not bad.
that's not bad at all. And you get the clothes at the end of it, which you can keep as well. So, yeah, I think that's perfect. And they had the training sessions as well. So it's not like it was just a game. You got 2 training sessions per week out of that as well. So if you add all that in as well, it was per hour, it was definitely a good deal.
Well, I had to say it was on behalf of the Techers crowd because now you're on Techers, you're part of the crowd. Techers crowd will be asking, what about the shinnies?
You'd have to provide your own shin guards.
Okay,
Jackson didn't want to wear those, and I had to explain, like, if you get kicked in the shin, then that's going to be really painful. You need to wear shin guards.
Yeah, trust me, your brother will show you what that feels like if you don't. If you want.
Oh, he would gladly show him what that feels like. Yes. So yeah, we don't want.
And Mason, remember you're a teenager now. You got responsibilities, kid. Right. Speaking of responsibilities, actually, Graham, a beautiful segue. I think we need to start holding snack companies to account. They have responsibilities. And
what's a snap company?
Snack company.
Oh, snack companies. I apologize.
We get these really weird flavors. I mean, Coca-Cola brought out Diet Coke with the lime again, and I love that flavor. But then you get these ones which is like chili cherry Diet Coke, which has got a kick to it. It's not quite. But and then you get things like you get all these sort of things like dairy milk chocolate bars with like dime bars mixed into it. I've got caramel dime bars and they're quite nice. Some of those sweets may not translate. I forget what sweets they have in America. But I had a strawberries and cream Hershey bar, which was very nice in my drive crate last month. But something, and bearing in mind we're approaching the season of Wimbledon. Strawberries and cream is known. Someone else has come up with a strawberries and cream flavoured snack. Yeah.
Please, Walker's crisps. Oh, not far off. The Doritos. Wow, is that in the US?
I'm not sure. I'll be
I have
honest.
not
I'll
seen
be
that.
honest. I'm
All right, first of all, let me check though. Is that a real thing or is that just one of those fake?
Doritos have launched a strawberry and cream flavored crisps.
Okay.
With teased arrival, apparently, yes. Waiting for the imminent arrival. Strawberries and cream Doritos, you didn't ask for them, but you'll definitely want to try them, they've said. They don't know when it's be hitting the shelves, but they are hitting the shelves soon. They are confirmed to be coming to stores.
Huh.
Some people are saying, we really hope this is a joke. This is on their Instagram, of course. Some people are
Yeah.
saying, why am I discussing yet intriguing equal measures? It's a bit late for April Fools, but why? Um, you know something really bad happens and you don't want to watch, but you also can't look away. That's right there. Um, yeah. It's clearly in collaboration with Wimbledon, which starts a week Monday, of course.
I just realized I forgot to post this anywhere, but I think I talked about the fact that watermelon and mustard has become a thing. I don't know if you remember that
I do
that
remember that, and
conversation.
that's still wrong.
I was at a teacher's do at the we had like a post end of school year. We had a little get together with a few people, and they had some watermelon, and I was like, "Oh, do you have any mustard?" And they were like, "Mustard." I was like, "Look, I gotta try it. I saw it." It was okay actually. I'm not saying I would eat it necessarily all the time or anything, but yeah, it wasn't as unusual. Like they put salt on it because that's one of the southern things, but yeah, mustard on it was actually okay. Wasn't too bad.
Cool.
I did take a picture.
Have you got any more food takes for me, Graham?
No, except for the fact that I'm really hungry and I'm ready to go eat my tea.
Okay, but before you do, I just wanted to have one last little about COVID at the moment because everyone in the UK can now have their vaccine if you're an adult. In fact, the hospital which I work at is giving the shops tomorrow for anyone. Appointment not needed. Turn up if you have the option to, guys, and get your vaccine. The sooner we get the shot, the sooner we get back to normal.
Hmm. Because people who don't realize, like UK was supposed to open up again, and then it's been locked down again for not total lockdown, but you've had it not fully opened up for an additional 4 weeks now. I think it's middle of July now.
19th of July. They did say that if things didn't get too bad, then they'd look at doing it after 2 weeks. But Boris Johnson today ruled that out because the Delta variant has made it climb quite high. Thankfully, it's not accelerating the deaths, which is something at least.
Yeah.
But the cases are accelerating. But thankfully, so the vaccine rollout. It's really
That'll
exploded.
be the important thing. I did see a sad part. Obviously, America's doing pretty well. They've been rolling out. That Biden met his targets. The target looks like he's probably not going to meet, though, is by July 4th, he wanted 70% of the adult population. There are pockets that's not happening. There was a very sad graphic in the USA Today, I believe it was, that had the map, and it showed you counties where less than 25% have been vaccinated. And I want to say the figure's nearly 700 counties around. Now, counties are nowhere near as big as what they would be in England.
Yeah.
You got to remember each state has their own counties. Times it by 50, and you're talking a lot. But it was mainly rural areas. It was places that don't have access to healthcare as easily as what the big cities do and the cities do. But that is worrying. That is something that could keep this going for a little bit longer. But less than 25%, that's an appalling figure. Hopefully that can be addressed coming up as well. Of course,
And
some
they
people do not want the vaccine still as well. So that's
Yeah,
also.
well, they're idiots, in my opinion.
Um,
Um,
I,
I do know that New York City and New York State has hit 70%.
Mhm.
And I know that it's 80% in Vermont.
Yeah.
So I just keep going, guys. Just keep churning out, and yeah, just be sensible.
I
Once you have your
believe
vaccine,
Virginia is going to be over 70. I think I saw Northern Virginia's closer to 80, I think it is. So that's the part that I live in. So that's good.
it's looking like we actually have finally got a way out of this at last, and we've just got to ride it a little bit longer, and then I can come back to the land of the free in 5 months' time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. All right. We're done.
We're done. Right, back next week,
All right.
guys. We're out of
See you
here.
in a week. Bye, everyone.